So I thought I would make a video about borderline personality disorder because it's not very well known and nobody really knows about it, and I didn't know about it until I got diagnosed with it. So I thought I would make a video, no, not for sympathy, and no, not so you feel bad or sad for me. And that is the last thing I want, is sympathy or for you to feel sad for me. In fact, you should be happy that I am making this video because it means that I can maybe help others. Because I know for a very long time, I didn't know I had it. And so I used to cry in my mum's arms, wondering what was wrong with me and why I felt the way I did and why I thought the way I did and all of that. So I thought I would make a video explaining it and what it's about and my experiences with it, and maybe someone else will pick up that they have it and then they can get the help that they need and they can feel better. But oh God, do I wish on everything that I have that none of the people on here do have it, because it's not nice to have it all. But yeah, so here I go. I'll start off by reading out a description, a very on point description, so that I don't get anything wrong, because I'm still learning about it myself. The main feature of borderline personality disorder, BPD, is a pervasive pattern of instability in interpersonal relationships, self-image and emotions. People with borderline personality disorder are also usually very impulsive, oftentimes demonstrating self-injurious behaviours, risky sexual behaviours, cutting or suicide attempts. Borderline personality disorder occurs in most by early adulthood. The unstable pattern of interacting with others has persisted for years and is usually closely related to the person's self-image and early social interactions. The pattern is present in a variety of settings, example, not just at work or home. It often is accompanied by a similar lability, fluctuating back and forth, sometimes in a quick manner, in a person's emotions and feelings. So, meaning that when I'm going to refer to myself, because I think it's relatable when people talk about themselves. So when my moods are fluctuating back and forth in a quick manner, it pretty much means I can snap from happy to angry to sad very, very easily. It only takes something small, because people with borderline personality get affected by things on the external environment much more intensely than your average human. These individuals are very sensitive to environmental circumstances, hence what I just said. The perception of impending separation or rejection or the loss of external structure can lead to profound changes in self-image, affect cognition and behaviour. So, when I feel rejected, or when I know that I'm going to be separated from someone that I care about, I pretty much freak my shit. I change the way I look, I change everything around me. I have like this little meltdown, I guess. They experience intense abandonment fears and inappropriate anger. If anyone knows me knows that I'm not an angry person, definitely not. I've never hit anyone in my life, even though I've had the opportunity to, and I have been hit and I never hit back because I'm not into violence, and I think it takes a stronger person to walk away. But yeah, so when I do get angry though, which it does take a lot for me to get angry, oh God, do I get angry. Like, I am one of those people that I'll bottle up my anger for a really long time until someone I know, which this is very sad, but someone that I know that won't leave me, I pretty much will get angry when I do get the chance. Like, when something really messed up happens with those people, all my anger will come out. And it sucks, and I wish I didn't do it, but when I'm not on my medication, it happens. Blah, blah, blah. So, also, sudden despair in reaction to announcing the end of an hour, or panic or fury when someone important to them is a few minutes late, or cancel an appointment. So pretty much, if I make plans with someone and they ditch last minute, I will straight away think in my head, not that oh shit, they're busy, they need to do something else, which is the normal reaction, my first thought is that they're making up excuses to not come see me, that I'm not worthy of seeing, that they don't want to see me for some reason, and then I'll make up something in my head. Yeah, stuff like that. They may believe that this abandonment implies they are bad, hence what I just said. These abandonment fears are related to an intolerance of being alone and a need to have other people with them. Relationships with a person's emotions may sometimes be seen by others or characterized as being shallow. So I do come across as very shallow, and I'm never alone. If anyone knows that, they know that I'm always being tagged with other people because I really suck at being alone. I can't be alone. I can't deal with my own thoughts. I can't deal with feeling lonely. I need that affection in my life. I need to be surrounded by people to feel sane, kind of thing. Which is also sad because I wish I could depend on my own self to be happy and to be able to wake up in the morning and say, yeah, today's going to be a good day. But if I'm alone, I probably won't get out of bed at all. Yeah, and I come across as very shallow because being disassociative is a part of borderline personality disorder. So if you're upset or you're crying in front of me, I am very good, and I do feel for those people who are crying. But if I'm in a disassociative kind of state of mind, I will probably look at that person and not understand why they're crying. I will probably, if someone says something to me over Facebook, this is why I hate arguing over Facebook, someone says, like, I don't want to be friends with you, I will come across as so shallow because I'll be like, you know what, I think I was going to get abandoned anyways, so kind of fuck off kind of thing. I'm very shallow like that. If someone wants to leave, I'll say goodbye straight away because I'm looking for someone that won't leave me, because that's what I want in life. But unfortunately people leave, so can't stop that. Personality disorder is an enduring pattern of inner experience and behaviour that deviates from the norm of the individual's culture. The pattern is seen in two or more of the following areas: cognition, affect, interpersonal functioning, or impulse control. The enduring pattern is inflexible and pervasive across a broad range of personal and social situations. It typically leads to significant distress or impairment in social, work, or other areas of functioning. The pattern is stable and of long duration, and its onset can be traced back to early adulthood or adolescence, meaning I probably would have had it when I was a young teenager, but borderline personality disorder was probably being developed in my brain as a child, and it only came out in adolescence, and even more so now that I'm becoming a young adult, so I'm still learning about it. And roughly these are the symptoms: frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. I'd like to talk about this one a bit because a lot of my friends that aren't my friends anymore will probably understand me a lot more, because I've never opened up like this ever about my borderline. I'm very closed off, which is part of it also. Very closed off. I never talk about my emotions or what's going on in my life or my feelings, really, unless I break one day and I let it all out. Sorry to those that I have done that to. I don't even tell my parents what I'm thinking or feeling ever. But I have frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. No, there are two different borderlines. Frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. So this is a different kind of borderline. That borderline, those people are very clingy. So if they do have friends, they will try and do anything to keep them. Will make them, will do anything to keep them. But mine, unfortunately, I don't avoid abandonment. I create it for myself. So I push people very far away very easily by being a bit of an asshole, I guess. Or I just pretty much, when they want to leave, I'll just say bye. Because I don't avoid abandonment. I bring it upon myself so I don't have to deal with real abandonment. I can't deal with abandonment. I can't deal with people wanting to leave my life all the time, because it bloody hurts. Not just hurts, and I know I'm putting on a brave face and smiling, but that's because I've been crying all day because of my borderline. It's just one of those off days, and that'll happen. But yeah, so I will tell people to not be friends with me, to leave me alone, to go away, to all that stuff that nobody ever really wants to hear from a friend, I guess, now that I look at it from their point of view. But I say it all so that, because in my head, I guess, I've already created an abandonment by people because I've been not abandoned, I've been let down so much by friends or family that I now just assume that everyone will let me down, and I can't help it. I know that I know myself when I'm on medication that there is good in the world, and some people out there won't let me down, but when I'm not on my medication, I know in my head, what I think I know is that they will abandon me eventually, they will let me down, and therefore when they do even just the slightest bit let me down, I pretty much say goodbye, see ya, don't want anything to do with you. A pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterized by alternating between extremes of idealization and devaluation. So if I'm in a relationship, I don't feel valued, I don't feel enough, I never feel good enough, I never feel like I will be what somebody wants when I'm not on my medication. But I don't know, and my moods are very extreme, so relationships are very hard for me, but I know one day someone will come along that knows how to handle it, I guess, and I'll handle them for their goods and their bads also. Identity disturbance, such as significant and persistent unstable self-image or sense or self. So I change my identity a lot. If you haven't seen my photos, I will have different haircuts. I don't care about my hair. I'll chop it all off. I'll grow it. I'll do crazy things to it. Change my hair color. Had nearly every hair color there is. My style of clothes, I don't really know what style I have. I'm just Ruby. You'll see me in something really different, probably always. Also, my bedroom never stays set up one way. I'm always changing that around also because, I don't know, it freaks me out to have one thing set all the time, which might do other people's heads in, but I'm always moving shit around in my room. Impulsivity in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging. Examples: spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating, or not eating at all. So I've got quite a few of those ticked. I spend recklessly when I'm not on my medication, so if you've ever gone into a store and you see something but you don't need it and you don't want it but you just feel like you need to get it for some reason that you're unaware of, that's compulsively spending, which isn't usually normal either. So that's also another symptom to look out for. I go in shops when I'm not on my medication, and God, my pay can be gone in a day. Whether my pay is $100 or over $1,000, it can be gone in a day easily. Substance abuse. So I do abuse a lot of substances when I do have them. If I drink, I will drink a lot. If anyone knows me, they know that. And bud, which is also something else I wanted to talk about. A lot of people think I smoke marijuana. Everyone knows I smoke marijuana. I'm not ashamed of it, because I do. There's nothing to hide, I guess. But I don't do it to be cool or to be a stoner or a hippie or anything like that. I don't do it socially. I do it medicinal. So if I'm not on my medication, or even when I am on my medication, I still have bad anxiety, which is a part of borderline. I will smoke till I pass out so that I'm not awake, or I smoke until I don't have any feelings on the inside because my moods are so intense. When I'm sad, oh God, like, sadness, it doesn't even cover the tiniest bit of what I feel inside. It is a heart-aching, gut-wrenching knife stabbing kind of pain, because pain is so intensified, and people with borderline feel pain so much easier and so much more than the normal brain does. So yeah, and I am going to quit, which is some good news. I wanted to have that in here. I'm going to quit, and I'm going to get sober, because a lot of friends say I use them for marijuana, which I do not, because I would never use anyone, because I would never want to be used, and I treat people the way I want to be treated. Recurrent suicidal behaviour, so gestures or threats or self-mutilating behaviour. It's very common to self-harm when you do have borderline. Most people that do have borderline will self-harm because it's the only way they do know how to deal with such the intense moods that are in the inside. And because I am disassociative if I self-harm, it's because I don't want to talk to anyone about it. I don't want people to hear my problems. I just want to let them out by doing that. And self-harm actually brings out a chemical in your brain that makes you happy, and it can be addictive to self-harm. It also reminds you that you're alive, but it's not something to beautify. It's not beautiful. It's not a good thing, and I never wish upon anyone to hurt themselves. But yeah, so that's just how it feels, I guess. Emotional instability due to significant reactivity of mood. Example, intense episodic dysphoria, irritability, or anxiety. So my emotions aren't stable at all. I will react very quickly, and they are called episodes. When I do freak out very bad, it is called an episode, and I black out and I won't remember a thing. I could hurt myself very easily. I'll never hurt another, but I can hurt myself very easily in this episode and not remember what it is, and I'll try and think of a fight that I might have had with someone, and I won't be able to remember it at all. I won't be able to string a sentence to another. I'll remember little chunks, and that's about it, because memory loss is also a part of it. If I ever am sitting and having a conversation with you, and I ever like look confused, and I stop mid-sentence, it's because I can't remember what I was thinking. It's very easy for me to lose train of thought, and it's also very, very easy for my attention to jump from one thing to another, to another, to another, which is why from when I was little, I've been such a to-do list maker. I make to-do lists all the time, and it really does help. So if you do have borderline and you're watching this, or you think you have borderline and you lose train of thought a heap, to-do lists help very much so. Chronic feelings of emptiness, so it's not just feelings of emptiness, it's chronic. It's not just like I'm sitting here and I feel a little bit empty. I feel so fucking empty when I feel empty that nothing could feel happiness within me. I feel so empty. I feel like there's nothing left worth living for. That's how bad the emptiness can feel sometimes. Inappropriate or intense anger, or difficulty controlling anger. So when I do get very angry, I can't control it. I will say shit and I won't remember it, and I will maybe, I'm not a violent person. I may like just say things and not mean it at all, and then I will, after my episode, realize what I've said. And what sucks about that is when I do realize, or when I have been told what I have said, because of my borderline, you have so much bad and negative thoughts on yourself already, it all just tops up to it. You feel worse about yourself because you couldn't control it and there was nothing you could do to stop it, but you know it wasn't the right thing to do after the episode, and you feel very, very, very guilty for it all. Stress-related paranoid thoughts or severe dissociative symptoms, so when I'm not connecting with you, it's not my fault. I don't mean not to connect. I connect much better when people talk to me face to face. But if you're messaging me, I will not connect very well to you at all. It's very easy for me to shut off my emotions and to be like, whatever, I don't care. But I will eventually care. No one else should have to deal with that though. And I don't blame people for... I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I don't blame people for wanting to leave after I'm like that. So yeah, but if I am like that, maybe ease up and tell me maybe that I am being that way, and maybe it'll click in my head and I'll stop. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. This video's gone a very long time, but if you're feeling really sad, more than really sad, if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling like you don't understand yourself and nobody else understands you either, maybe, possibly you could have this. If you're very shut off, if you spend compulsively, if you have risky behaviour in bed, if you lose your train of thought, if you have memory loss, if you black out, if you feel empty all the time, if you find it hard to connect with people a lot, if you abuse substances, all of this, if you self-harm, you could possibly have borderline, and it would be good to look it up or go to a psychologist, because unfortunately there is no cure for borderline personality disorder. So yeah, long days of therapy, I guess, and not just so you can talk to them. Psychologists, people misunderstand them a lot. They're here to help you understand yourself rather than you putting on your problems on someone else's shoulders. It's not like that at all. They studied the brain for a reason, so they could help people like us understand what is happening in our brains, so that they can give us coping mechanisms or better ways to deal with what is happening. It does help a lot. And antidepressants also, I was never a fan of them, and I hated them for a really long time until I found the right one. And they are very helpful when you find the right one, and they do get better. They are shit in the first couple of weeks, month, whatever, until your body reenacts with it and your chemicals balance out again, because obviously taking medication will mess with your chemicals in you. But yeah, that's all I really have to say, and all the best to anyone who does have it, all the best to anyone who does feel this way. It does get better, no matter how sad you get. You just have to pull through one more day, and that's all it takes. You just keep going through it one more day, and eventually that one day becomes a week, a month, years, and you will get through it, and life is as beautiful as you do make it. And I know it's hard to control your negative thoughts about life, but each morning is a new morning, and each day is a new day to make your life that little bit much better. And yeah, or also if you lack eating or you eat too much, I'm also like that. I either don't eat or I eat a lot, so I'm either really skinny or really fat. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about borderline. That's a little bit about the symptoms, my experiences, and hopefully it will help somebody else out there.